So there are two key factors for good coaching to take place, to truly be effective. Those two factors, number one is awareness. So you have to be aware that there is an issue, that's something that you wanted to change and then you wanted to improve. So that 360 feedback is a great tool to help you raise that awareness and see your blind spots. And sometimes that perhaps your coworkers, your peers provide you with feedback, and that's also a great way to understand, oh, well, I do have an issue. This is something that I'm not aware of and I need to work on. So awareness is the first factor. The second factor is the willingness.
I've been having this question about feedback for a while, which is, I don't find feedback always useful. Not out of judgment, but I'm not sure that the source is about good intent.
Yes.
So how do I gauge that?
That's a great question. So sometimes, when people talk about this word feedback, what's the first thing come to your mind when somebody say, "Oh, David, I'd like to give you some feedback"?
I would love to hear it.
Because I'm working on listening.
That's post MSELD.
Yeah, that's right. Wow.
She wants to complain.
Yeah. Well, that's a perfect answer, David. All right. But most of the time, yeah, that's a good answer, right? But most of the time, that's not how we feel when somebody says, "I'm going to give you some feedback," right?
What?
What now? Okay, what's wrong? Right? Am I in trouble? So the first reaction is that there's something is wrong. And then so we tend to feel like I have to defend myself, or there's usually bad news, right? But then also has a lot to do with the source of the feedback. So then, if you truly wanted to help somebody, you want to provide feedback to that person, you wanted to think about how you deliver the feedback. Just as important is what you're delivering. Okay, do you have positive trust and relationship with this person? So what you say is actually going to be received in a positive way. Ask yourself if that's the case, right? And also, continue to think about is that when I receive feedback, that do I actually have this positive attitude to say, okay, well, thank you for giving me this gift. And I'm willing to listen, and I'm truly open to what you have to say, and I will assume the best intention. Okay. So a lot of times, when the giving and receiving feedback has a lot of interferences, a lot of noises that going through both the coach and the coachee, or the feedback giver and the receiver. So then psychologically, that if we have those resistance, we're not going to be able to listen or understand the feedback. Okay. So ask yourself those questions. And when somebody gives you feedback, look at this person and say, okay, I'm going to focus on the message, and then assume the best intention, and then see and take it as it is. So you're right. Feedback is not always valuable if it comes coming from somebody with strong bias. Okay, but also sometimes we do want to look in the mirror and say, no, is the bias stays with this person? Okay. So now the willingness is one strong factor, and awareness is the second strong factor to determine whether the coaching is going to be successful or not. Here's another